excuse me a little bit because I'm a little under the weather, and a lot of people didn't want me to talk today, so which is fine with me, but duty calls. So anyway, so I know they were concerned about my health and theirs. But anyway, okay. Now let's talk. All of you guys should have a handout. It's two handouts. One's a spreadsheet, one's a chart. The chart kind of summarizes everything. So if you really are good at it, you just look at it and you know everything. But no. Then the other one, the words, it's 8 pages long. It goes into a lot more detail. All right. So the topic is called the same mind creating 10 different states of. It's only an outline, by the way. Okay. All right. So remember in the last class, right? We all talk about, what's our that Buddha nature, the one truth. Yeah. So you can say that's our essence, that our awareness. We say it's our mind, but really our mind depends on what perspective you're looking at from. From a normal perspective, or we say human perspective, we say our mind. That's wrong because that mind is only our conscious mind. That's the fifth consciousness, right? I mean the fifth skandha, which is wrong, right? Which is impermanent, okay? Which changes, right? Just like 2 minutes ago you have one thought, now you have another thought. Then 2 minutes later you can have another thought. So that's all mind, right? That's all in your mind, right? That's all mind, right? So that's not the true mind, okay? So when we say true mind, when they say the same mind, it's the true mind. It's that Buddha nature. You can say Buddha nature, all right? It's that, you can say that essence, that absolute awareness, right? Where the thought comes, or that human mind, we say conscious mind, well, maybe that's a better term, cognitive mind. It's just the function of that true awareness, of that absolute awareness. Understand? So that's two parts. So we have an essence that's indescribable, that's eternal. Yeah, you can describe. In the handout, I think I talked about a little bit in page 6. Display the four nirvana attributes. Yeah. That's that's at a very high level. Okay, that's our mind, our true mind. But what we display in normal life or in physical realm, which we will talk about, physical realm, it's our conscious mind. So it's those two aspects, right? One is you can say eternal, true, everlasting. So that's the essence. The other one is our human mind. So really when I say one, the oneness, it's those two together, okay? Because the human mind, I mean the conscious mind, human mind, cognitive mind, it's a function, it's a manifestation or an application of that true awareness. Get it? So, and here's how we can prove it. You go look at a corpse, right? It has a brain, right? The corpse has a brain, right? That's a brain. But then ask the corpse if he's thinking or dreaming. Maybe it's dreaming, I don't know. But ask if it's dreaming. Ask if it can feel anything. Of course not. That's because it's lacking its essence. Get it? Okay. So the essence, you can say. Some people say spirit. Spirit is kind of very narrow and not absolute, not 100% complete, but accurate. But you can say it. Yeah, spirit for our purposes. Yeah, you can say. So it lacks that. All right. So that's why when I say the true mind, it's our spiritual aspect. You can say, okay, our Buddha nature. That's another way of. Okay, that's a better term. All right. Okay. So now this. let me go ahead. This topic, the same mind creating the 10 states, right, and realms. The 10 states is the Buddha's way of trying to explain the cosmology aspect, okay, viewpoint from Buddha's point of view. All right. Cosmology, so a lot of philosophers, physicists today, cosmologists, they try to explain our religions too. Christianity has their cosmological view too. You know that, right? Genesis, right? Book 1, chapter 1, right? That's their cosmology, right? all Hindu religions, etc., everybody. So cosmology is a very, very broad view of how existence comes about, or explain, or try to explain what the order of existence is. Okay? All right, so you see in the chart, all right? Okay, so cosmology contains, you can view it in two parts, one's spatial, one's temporal, okay? So the chart is a spatial, more specifically, it's a vertical spatial cosmological perspective, okay? That's very important. Then there's also, have you heard the term, I didn't put it in the handout because that's just too much information for most of you. It's there's also a horizontal cosmology too. This is vertical because it goes from the lower level to the higher level. Okay, that's what it means. Okay, that's what we mean by vertical. Okay, whereas the horizontal, have you heard the term trichiliocosm? Oh, 三千大千世界. That's called trichiliocosm. Okay, trichiliocosm. It means that's horizontal. It just means we have a small world or universe like the Earth, like the sun, for example, the sun. Okay, the solar system. That's one world from Buddha's perspective. Okay, or from Buddhism perspective. And then 1,000 of those small worlds, 1,000 solar systems, in other words, make up one, 小千世界, right? Small cosmos, or whatever, small cosmos. And then 1,000 of those small cosmos make up a middle cosmos. So that means it's 1,000 times 1,000, right? So far. So that's 1,000,000 solar systems. Stars, you can say 1,000,000 stars. That's a middle level. And then a large level is 1,000 of that, right? So 1,000 times 1,000,000 is 1,000,000,000. Get it? So there are 1,000,000,000 stars that make up one 大千世界, one large cosmos, or whatever you call it. And then there's 3,000 of them. So there are like 3 trillion star systems. I mean, that's one interpretation, okay? So that's an example of what we call horizontal cosmology, okay? Because we group them together, groups to another group, to another group, to another group, right? Right? Okay, so that's called horizontal, right? It's like parallel. Parallel. It just means that, set. Maybe that's a better term, a set, right? You have a set, a small set, then a bigger set, then another bigger set, then a bigger set, right? That's what it means, okay? Okay, so that's called horizontal, or in Buddhism, there's a term for that. It's called saharsa, something. Saharsa cosmology. But I'm not talking about that because, it doesn't matter. Okay, so it's composed basically, by the way, Buddha talked about a lot of that in various texts, especially in Avatamsaka Sutra, Hua Yan Jing. Just read the very first chapter. Whew, part 1. Whew, it's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. It's unless you have a deep understanding of our Buddha nature, it's very difficult. If you read it, it's like saying somebody's high. Somebody was smoking something when they wrote this. It sounds like it's mind-boggling. Maybe that's a better term. Okay, so unless you really understand it, it's unless you really understand it. Okay, so that's a Buddha, and so that's why even bodhisattvas, when they heard, that was the first official sutra, by the way, that Buddha gave. You know that, right? After enlightenment, in his first official assembly, assembly we call it Fa Hui assembly, right after enlightenment. He talked about that Avatamsaka Sutra for I think 12 or 21 days, something like that, 12, like 3 weeks or so. It's long. It's one of the longest. It's the second longest sutra in all of the Buddhist canons. Okay, and he didn't do most of the talking. He spoke on the very first chapter, and I think towards the end too. I forgot. It's too long. It's too long. Anyway, but he invited, from the first chapter, he invited a lot of bodhisattvas and other Buddhas to come and describe the cosmos. the marvels, that you can say the marvels of the universe, the cosmos, or the realms beyond our physical realm. Okay, so a lot of even bodhisattvas couldn't understand because it was so deep. And I'll go to that all in one in all at the very end. I'll wrap that up at the very end. Okay, so that's one of the key cornerstone concepts. We remember Virginia in her previous class. She talked about that all pervasive, the Yi Guan Dao, right? That all pervasive one Tao or whatever. I mean, that's the literal translation, right? It's the same. That all pervasive one. It's just another way of saying what Avantasaka Sutra would talk about all is one, one is all. Well, it's really all in one, all in all in one in all, and one in one. That's the logical step behind it. But unless you really, it's really Yi Guan Dao. It's the same thing. It's really the same thing. Okay? So I'm trying to say, remember I said the same mind, right? Thinking, it's the same mind creating the 10 different, states. I mean, it could, well, the 10 is, if you look at the chart, is based on that grouping. That's why it's 10. I mean, yeah, it could be infinite. Doesn't matter. But that's the same mind. That's that one. That's our Buddha nature. That absolute awareness. That essence. That's the one. That one can create everything. Everything you could ever dream of or not even dream of. Huh. So that's the one in all. Get it? Oh, all in one and one in all. Okay? Okay, I really basically, that one was going to be my conclusion. So basically I'm done. So, so. All right. So it's composed of 6 ordinary and 4 holy states. Okay, if you look at the chart, it's the left first column, okay, on the left. Okay, so these are actually also, Buddha talked about it later on, towards the end of his life. In the Lotus Sutra, he mentioned it in various chapters, chapter 3, chapter 5, chapter 9, chapter 12, etc., etc. Lotus Sutra is pretty long too, by the way. It's only 28 chapters, but they're long. They're very long. Okay, so the 10 realms are also, because he touched upon it, in the Lotus Sutra. All right. So anyway, so now we can view them as separate physical universes, where we can where we're gonna end up afterlife. Okay, all right. But also they are really interrelated consciousness. They're all also, you can say, partly derived out of our mind. Okay, our creations are mind, which are okay. That's mind. Okay, so I'm gonna go through this very quick because unless people like to talk more about the first state, which is the very bottom state, right on the chart. It's at the bottom. Let's show the chart. It's here. It's about the underworld. It's row 61 here. It's this. Okay. All right. So the chart basically just summarizes, whereas the Word document the outline gives a little bit more detail. Okay. That's how I kind of approach it. So it's a balance between too much information, too little information. Okay. So anyway, so if you go back to the Word document, page 1 and 2, basically most of page 1, all of page 1. It talks about underworld. I mean, Buddha talked about it too. Okay, in one of his, you guys heard of the Tripitaka? I know what Tripitaka. Sanzang Jing. Sanzang. It's one of the Nikaya. It's the second one of the sutras, right? There's the 3 baskets. It means 3 baskets, literally. Okay, there's the sutras, the what? The Vinayas, and the Abhidharmas. Okay, those are 3 groups of scriptures, of Buddhist scriptures. That's the Therabodic. Okay? This is the Therabodic view. Okay, so the sutras are just like Diamond Sutra, Avantasaka Sutra, all those sutras. Okay, that's the first basket. The Nikayas are part of that too. The Nikaya just means middle length or something like that. Anyway, I mean Machima. Okay, but anyway, then there's the Vinayas, which talk about the precepts. Okay, all the rules, behavior, how the you can say the rules of behavior. Just like similar like this, proprieties, how to be righteous. Those which we'll talk about, right? The 5 evils, right? The 3 evils of the mind, 3 poisons of the mind, 4 of the mouth, 3 of the body. That's all precepts, okay? All right, so that's the second basket. And the third basket is called commentaries, abhidhammas. But usually Buddha does, I mean, he talks about that too, Okay, but anyway, so you can just, I'm not going to spend too much time because there's no fun talking about hell, right? I mean, some people maybe it's okay, but because anyway, so they're basically hot hell in Sanskrit. It's the term called, there are a couple terms, but the general term is called naraka, okay? And there are different ways of dividing it. Some people say, in ancient a lot of Chinese later say, there's 18 levels, right? Remember, people say, that's a very, very popular. Well, actually, that's really a simplification, a modification. Okay, actually, I talk about it in here. Okay, all right. Anyway, okay. So, so there's the hot and cold, which is kind of, like today is pretty cold, right? So it's hot and cold. Okay, so shoot, hold on 1 second. I just misplaced something. Damn it. Okay, all right. So there's hot and cold. Okay, so I guess some of us are not afraid of cold, so we don't mind being in cold. Well, and some of us are okay with hot. Well, it's gonna be really hot down there. So anyway, there are different types of hot. There's more details. I didn't want to go into it, but let's look at the last one. H, one. It's the Avicii. Okay, that's the one that's very. That's one of the most frightening. It's called the uninterrupted. It's called uninterrupted hell. Yeah. It's 无间 地狱. No time. 无间 no time. I mean timeless. Uninterrupted. Yeah, it's reserved. It's reserved for people who generally commit those 5 cardinal sins. You know what the 5 cardinal sins are, right? It's in the glossary, right? The 5 cardinal sins. Anybody know what the 5 cardinal sins are? I should put it. I don't have it in the appendix. Sorry. Yeah, it's killing of father, mother, right? Killing an arhat, shedding the blood of an Buddha. And also creating dissension within the sangha or the community of cultivators. So that's a very, even though you don't kill anybody, or you don't, harm anybody, but if you create dissension, that's that's very deadly. Okay, so an example is Devadatta. There are a lot of stories about in the Lotus Sutra. They talked about it among other sutras, but Lotus Sutra in chapter 12, I think. Yeah, chapter 12. Devadatta is a very interesting character. Guess who his brother was? Who his brother was? He's the elder brother. Okay, by the way, his younger brother. Anybody know? Come on, you guys. God, you guys are poor. No, anyway, okay, you guys.
What's the name in Chinese?
Something law. I forgot.
That's
No, not law. It's something like that. Something. Devadatta. Okay. I mean. Okay. Anyway. Guys, no. Come on. You guys.
Tell us.
God, this is no fun, man. You guys no fun.
Time is the essence.
Yeah, that's true. That's why. Hey, I gotta keep going. Well, I'm gonna skip through a lot of fun. Okay. His younger brother is guess who? Ananda, very good.
You said like that.
Ananda.
That's
Yeah, see, wrong. See, Ananda, and guess what? He's a cousin to what?
Buddha.
And also he's the brother-in-law of Buddha because his sister married Buddha. You know that? Whoa! So they're very related, and yet he, the brother-in-law or cousin, brother-in-law, cousin, tried to kill Buddha twice. First time trying to poison him, didn't work. Yeah, try to poison him. Second one, in the Vulture Peak. Anybody know where Vulture Peak is? Ty talked about it last week. Rajhir in modern day China, India, northeast India. It's the Vulture Peak. There are a lot of mountains and peaks. And Buddha spent a lot of time there. It's one of the holy sites of Buddhism. He was walking on one of the mountain passes, and Devadatta went to the mountain top and roll a big boulder down, try to crush him. Missed him,
Wow.
missed Buddha, of course, and but some of the stones hit Buddha and cut him. So he shed blood. So Devadatta is one of the few people who committed of those 5 cardinal sins. That shedding blood. That's number one. He didn't kill his parents, but
Why
he
did he want to kill Buddha?
because he
Cause karma.
yeah, hold on. He had greed. Okay, he had greed. Okay. So anyway, yeah, he cultivated well initially. He joined. He was part of Buddha's sangha in the original. You know that? That's a separate story. But hey, ain't all time. You guys can read it up, man. Look it up on the internet. Come on. I don't want to talk about it, but it's cool. It's really good story. He really was a bright guy. Okay.
Too bright.
Yeah, too smart for his own good. He entered the Sangha, okay, Buddha Sangha. And within the first year, supposedly first year, he attained supernatural powers. Whoa, that's how advanced he was. Most of us, we've been listening to the Tao for our lives, and we still get sick. Never mind superpowers, we still get sick. We still have headaches. Big difference, huh? He attained supernatural powers, and so he got greedy. You get it? Ooh, got to his head. See, so you got to be careful. A lot of people say, "Oh, I'm joining here because I heard, if I pray to the Buddha, if I accept the blessing, ooh, I'm gonna have a good life. My health is gonna improve. My parents' health is gonna improve. My business is gonna improve. All that. Well, see, those are ulterior motives, and because we have that impure or ulterior motive thought, it's gonna taint our conduct, our cultivation. That's a better term. So that's really the essence of what an asura is, or the source of how asura, the origin of how they become asuras. Understand? So what happened to him was he attained supernatural powers. In the very first year, he goes, "Whoa, look at Sariputra, Moggallana, right? All those Buddha's top disciples, those 2, right? They're still around. None of you guys have powers better than me. Whoa, look how smart I am. Look how good I am. Oh, he's very handsome too, by the way. So be careful, okay? So anyway, I'd rather look ugly, so that way that's okay, okay? So anyway, so he got very greedy. So he started to take over. So he asked Buddha, why can't I take over? Because, whoa, yeah, he has ambitions, man. He goes, hey, I'm gonna make your Sangha much better. Woo! He goes, why do you have Sariputra and Moggallana? Because those are his 2 right-hand, left-hand persons. And Buddha said, reply was, I don't even have them lead. So what makes you think that you can lead? Right? Okay, yeah. Anyway, that's because Buddha didn't lead. Okay, didn't have them lead. They're just his right hand, right hand, left hand. Yeah, just important. Okay, anyway, but so then he got angry. Devadatta. See, be careful. Our emotions. That's the what? First poison. Okay. All right. So he got angry. So he said, you know what? Screw you. I'm gonna lead my own sangha. So he convinced 500 of his disciples, of Buddha's disciples, to leave with him. So that's creating dissension. You get it? So he committed the second cardinal sin. Ooh. So he's one of the few people that committed those 2 cardinal sins. Well, guess what Buddha said? Buddha said to Ananda, especially because Ananda is the brother, right, the younger brother. Said, be very careful because once he committed these cardinal sins, he will right away, right after his last breath, immediately, expressway, guys, expressway, right down to Avicii. Okay? So be careful what we wish for, okay? So be very mindful, okay? And it did. But then here's the whole catch. So he's considered, there's a term called Ichantaka. Ichanti. You've heard of Ichantaka? So Devadatta is like Ichantaka. Right? Remember what Virginia talked about? He said, 你不是东西, you don't have east and west. You're neither east and west. You have no benevolence and no righteousness. You're basically good for nothing. Good for nothing. You have no moral values whatsoever. You might as well be a piece of wood or rock. Okay? So that's like a way of, slandering people, right? So that's what an ichantika is. Okay, ichantika. So Buddha mentioned in chapter 5, I forgot, chapter 8, 5, whatever, one of those in the Lotus Sutra. He says, even ichantikas, ichanti, okay, like him, like Devadatta, even though they're in Avicii hell, they still someday, very, very, very long, maybe many, many eons, many, many more mahakalpas later, they still have an opportunity to become enlightened. Wow! See, Buddha takes a different perspective, right? He does not even say, oh, too bad, you're not worthy, so you're condemned forever. No, see, to Buddha, those are all very relative, okay? Whereas we humans tend to take very extreme, hard-line
But
positions.
was that up to the Buddha's decision? It's God's decision.
Oh, no. What happened one day, the story goes about Devadatta, is that one day he was walking. Oh, he finally realized his wrongs, that this is maybe sometime later. So he tried to apologize and ask for Buddha's forgiveness. And Buddha said, yeah, that's fine. Buddha did not, Buddha doesn't hold grudges, right? This is no big deal to Buddha, okay? Because Buddha just understood that you were ignorant. You were driven by your lust, your passions, et cetera, et cetera. So Buddha said, yeah, that's fine. But because he wanted to come back, to rejoin. You guys can read about it. It's really good story. But anyway, and so what happens? So he was, I forgot what. One day he was walking, and supposedly the earth swallowed him up, and he went straight to hell. But anyway, to the Avicii. Okay. But so we gotta be very careful. All right. So be careful what we wish for, what we lust for. Okay. So anyway. So I don't want to look. This take up too much time, man. I mean, you guys should read this up on your own, man. I mean, Okay. And then there's cold. Oh, blister, burst blister, shivering, chattering. Thursday night I was chattering, man. I was chattering, man. I was chattering my teeth, man. It's like hell. Okay, so see, hell could exist in this human realm too. Okay, so all right, frozen bodies falling apart. I mean, we had just that snow, that northeaster. Well, people in New England got hit hard. Yeah. Okay. Then there's other hells too. There's adjacent hell, boundary hells. It's called Pratyeka Narakas. I mean, you guys can go, you guys can read about it. I don't like to talk about hell. It's depressing. It's depressing. And then there's the isolated hells. Wow, there's so many hells, man. I swear to God, there's too many hells, man. Sad. Okay, so now point D. This is what I want to talk about. People say, "Ooh, there are only 18 levels. How can there be that many levels?" Well, actually, the 18 levels was reorganized later during the Tang Dynasty. The Buddhist monks during the Tang Dynasty. Oh, it's too complicated. We got too many hells. People are not gonna believe that. Yeah, too many hells. Too confusing. We have cold, hot, boundary, isolated. Too many. So they kind of reorganized, reshuffled it into 18 levels. Okay, that's what we more commonly hear about, 18 levels. So now you understand. Okay. So actually, it depends on your perspective, but actually it's more than 18. I mean, 18 is just one view. Okay. So it's not wrong per se, but okay. All right, then there's the next state. If you look at the chart, that's the one above it, okay? If you look at the chart here, that's the one above it. It's called the pretas, all right? A hungry ghost, okay? So they're better off than people in hell, because hell, they are what? You can say, well, it's not just, it's suffering, yes, death, hope, but they cannot leave it. They're not free to roam about hell. They're not. I mean, I don't know if you want to roam about, but they're not free. Okay. Whereas hungry ghosts are free about to roam around. But they're in a very sorry state. Okay. There are 3 levels, right? Wealthy, whoa, rich hungry ghost. That's not bad. I'll be a rich hungry ghost. Oh. Then there's a less wealthy, middle class hungry ghost. Whoa. And then there's the poor class hungry ghost. That's sad. Okay. That's sad. That's the saddest of the saddest. And then within the poor class, there's the 3 types. Flaming mouth. That's funny. Needle throat. That's like bottleneck growth, okay? And then stinking mouth. Stinking mouth. Oh, that's pretty cool. Stinking mouth. Okay. So people who have bad breath, be careful. You are a stinking mouth preta, okay? So be careful, all right? So flaming mouth. I was too lazy to put it in, but you guys can look it up yourself. Mahayana's mother ended up being a flaming mouth because while she was alive, she did some very, very bad stuff. She basically had a dirty mouth. And not only have a dirty mouth, but she basically slandered the Buddha and his teachings and the Sangha. Okay? She slandered. Also, she was pretty well-to-do, because Mahayana came from a fairly well-to-do family. Him and Sariputra. Okay? So she was very extravagant. Hey, I'm a billionaire, I can afford to waste a billion here, a billion there, no big deal. So that's what she did. Okay, so she was very wasteful too. All right. So when she died, obviously she didn't go to hell, but she made donations too. So that kind of offset, she made donations to the Sangha too, because her son wasn't there. Mahayana tried to convince her to help out. Okay, so that's what a pious filial son would try to do, right? Mahayana, right? He's very filial, right? Later on, you hear the story. So she didn't go to hell directly. She ended up being a preta, a flaming mouth, flaming mouth. Okay, all right. And so Mahayana later on, when he attained those supernatural powers, he was able to find his mother and discover her sorry state, blah blah. And that's where we have the Ulambana festival, which is the festival in lunar calendar of the spring, of autumn, which supposedly the gates of hell would open, and hungry ghosts and all the different except for the Avicii or whatever, can come out and roam about, whatever. Okay, but that's okay. Enough talking. This is boring. I don't like this. Let's talk about the high level stuff. Okay, animals. We all know what animals are. Okay, so don't forget. Let's skip it. Asuras, I just go through a little bit, okay? They can exist, here's very important, they can exist, even though, yes, it is like a path, a state, quote unquote, but Asuras can also exist, they don't have just one state for their own. Oh, here's only Asuras. Actually, they can exist amongst humans, among animals, amongst pretas, even amongst some of the devas, okay? Get it? All right? So that's why, okay? So, and that's the Surangama Sutra talked about that. Okay, the term for asura means not upright. So be careful what we wish for. Okay, so it's characterized by what? Pride, arrogance, jealousy, rage, suspicion, argumentative, and belligerent nature. In other words, they have no virtues whatever. Okay, lack of virtues. All right. Okay, so they constantly wage wars against the divas of this of that heaven called the heaven of 33. Okay, but that's okay. That's the 玉皇大帝. Okay, all right. Okay, so then as human cultivators, we better be careful. All right. So the key is we should not just perform outer virtue. Meaning, yeah, I bring a lot of people, I make a lot of donations, right? Okay, those are all outer culture. But yet, if we do not change our character, our own moral character, right? If we still have bad tempers, right? If we still have lust or ambitions or whatever, ego, we gotta be careful. We could end up being asuras, because asuras come from cultivators. You know that? They don't come from ordinary sentient beings. Ordinary sentient beings end up in two places. I mean, they could end up in three places. But assuming they're good, they don't do any evil, they don't kill, they could become a celestial being. That's true. But generally, unless you, oh damn, I don't know. Say, hey, you know what? I talk about this anyway. They end up as preta or underworld. Okay, so asuras are really come from cultivators in the human world. You know that? Okay, so we gotta be careful. So humans, okay, these are the 5 precepts, right? We should know what they are, right? No killing, no theft, no other. Okay, which is this? Basically this. Same thing as what Confucius talked about. Okay, so I don't wanna. Devas, woo, that's a lot. Okay, so usually devas, people who are ordinary people who have not received the Tao, right? That's how you become a diva, right? Because if we receive the Tao, we don't need to go to the diva world, right? Or celestial. Usually they follow those 10 goodwill measures, right? Which is basically what? 3 of the mind, right? Which is opposite of the 3 poisons, right? Right? Greed, rage, ignorance, right? That's the 3 poisons, right? So and I talk about a little bit here what we say we do. Okay. So and then the four vices of the mouth, right? Lying, abusive, divisive, flattery, right? And then 3 evils of the body: killing, stealing, lust. Okay? So if we don't do those things, how does this happen, Kai? It doesn't matter. Okay, doesn't matter. I won't save it. Okay, we end up being in Diva world. Okay, and then there are different levels. There are six levels of celestial heavens in the realm of desire. If you look at the chart, that's the above the asuras, right? If you look at the chart, that's over here. That's over here. All right, that's over here. Okay, that's over here. Okay, but don't forget, they're all those Diva realms are also bound by samsara. Okay, get it? They're all bound by. That means you have to still reincarnate. Okay, after we use up our you can say our merits, right? Okay, so when we do these things, these are merits. You know, when we can do these good things, right? They are merits. Okay, so. You guys can read it up. Okay, then there's the second level, which is it's called the realm of the 33. Okay, if you look at the maximum lifespan, that's just a one interpretation of it. That's just one view. Don't take it as gospel. It just means that they live fairly long time. Okay, because they go from remember this is the verticals. I mean, I talk about the vertical spatial cosmology, right? So it's basically you have the hell realm, which is at the bottom, right? So it's a small realm, okay? Then the next level up, it's a little bit bigger, right? It encompasses it. Then the next level gets bigger. That's how it looks, okay? That's what we mean by vertical spatial cosmology perspective, okay? Does not necessarily mean that that's the case, but that's the general understanding of it, okay? All right. So that's why, because that means the highest level, which is the Dharma Dhatu, it encompasses everything. Remember I say it's the one, it encompasses everything. It's from that one comes everything. Even the hell comes from there. Get it? Okay. All right. Okay. So you can talk. You guys can look at this. I don't want to talk out there. All different levels. There's the realm of 33, the Yama. Yama also is Yen Luo Wang. He's in charge of this. You know that? Yen Luo Wang. The god, we say that's the god of the underworld. He doesn't reside in the underworld, you know that? That's his office. His home, his palace is in Yama heaven. You know that? Okay? Yeah, he can enjoy too. Hey, he's not stupid. He doesn't want to be in the underworld suffering like everybody else. He doesn't suffer, but that's his duty. His job, his day job, evening job is in the underworld. But his actual home is in the Yama heaven. You know that, by the way, okay? All right, so anyway, it's called the 32, whatever. Okay, it doesn't matter. Then the Tusita, Kai talked about it last week, right? About Maitreya. So we don't have to discuss it that much. Okay. Then there's the next two levels, Namanarati, and then the Parinirmiti. Okay. So Nimitta. Those are the high level. Okay. And be careful. The high level, the sixth world, the sixth level heaven in the realm of desire. Remember we talked about this realm of desire, right? In the spreadsheet here, right? This realm of desire right here, right? The realm of desire is here, right? These are realm of desire. He's in the sixth level, okay? And that's, guess who rules that? Mara. Mara, Mara. He was we call him demon. In Buddhism, they call him demon. Because a demon is not because, like the biblical sense that, he's evil and all that stuff. Yeah, you can say he's evil, whatever, or very jealous, yeah, all that stuff. But in Buddhist perspective, definition of a demon is one who tests cultivators. You know that? Ooh. Like asuras, you can say, yeah, asuras do that too, but they test, okay? They try to impede sentient beings from becoming enlightened. Why? Because he's on the sixth level. He's the highest level of the realm of desire. He wants to control everybody. He wants to make sure, hey, this is my domain, man. I don't want everybody to leave me, man. Yeah, man, they have nobody to rule, man. What fun is that? See? So he's jealous. He's very envious, jealous, suspicious, all that, okay? So he tried to tempt. As a matter of fact, Buddha, after his enlightenment under the Bodhi tree, who came? Who's the first? Who's the first to come? Mara. Yeah, Mara. Hey, he found out, I saw this light coming out from the earthly realm. That means somebody became enlightened. I can't allow that. I gotta come back down and try to convince him, man. So he came down and tested, right? We all know the story. Okay, I don't need to go about it, but it's pretty fun, pretty good stuff. Okay, so it was Mara. Okay, so hey, so for most of us, unless we're enlightened, we're not going to be tested by Mara. Just like Jesus. Remember Jesus? He was in the wilderness, right? He was enlightened. So who he got tested by? The equivalent of Mara, Satan. If they say Satan. Okay, all right. So unless we're enlightened, yeah, don't worry, we're not going to be tested by Mara. Who we will be tested a lot by is other human beings and Asura. Okay? All right, so, all right? Okay, so then the next level is called the realm of form. Okay? These are also Diva heavens. Okay, so there are 18 levels. I don't want to go into detail because it's okay. Just you know it. And if you look at the chart, it's very important. Just go back to the chart. If you look at that's the, it's here. It's the, wait, hold on one second. Hold on. I don't like this, man. I don't like this. Okay. It's the realm of, it's all in this block here, so that's what I call it. But if you look at the far two right columns, it doesn't matter. Even if you end up there, it's still going to get destroyed, and you're still going to, except for the fourth one. But we're gonna get still subject to reincarnation. Understand? Okay. I mean, you live there for a long time. You can depend on our merits. Okay. We can enjoy pleasures, whatever up there. But you're still gonna have to come down. Okay. When we use up our merits. Okay. So and also the first 3 levels, right here, are gonna be destroyed. Okay. Even in the temporal heaven. Okay. Celestial. So that's why a lot of celestial Buddhas. I mean, not Buddhas. Celestial saints. Divas, they know that. So they say, hey, when the apocalypse comes, the end of days, when there's that wind, that cosmic wind, at this 3rd level, I'm going to get destroyed too. So I better receive the Tao first. You get it? I mean, so that's why. But now, then there are 2 levels above that will not get destroyed. But the bad thing is they still subject to reincarnation. Get it? Okay, so all right, so we don't have to. It's called the 5 Diva realm. The pure abodes are basically the realm where only arhats reincarnate to. Get it? Not arhat level. It's the 2nd level. It's called the not the Srotapana, but the sacred agamen. Okay, sacred agamen. Well. And I think I already said it in my outline, right? I think I have it in my outline. I said that in my outline, right? The sacred agamens, right? It's right here. It's on page 4. Page 4. Okay, page 4. Where is it? Page 5. Sorry, the top of page 5.
Page 4.
No, page 4, right? Is it page 4? Right. Pure abodes, right? Only anagamens. Sorry, non-returners go there. Okay, so that just okay. So that's why sometimes if there's no not, it could be very empty. All right. So anyway, then the 5 level. Okay, don't worry about that. So I don't have to. Then let's go to the next level. It's the realm of formlessness. It's called the Arupya Dhatu. Okay. They're also subject to reincarnation. Okay. All right. But they're the world's one, and that's called the 4 Dhyanas. Okay, the 4 Dhyanas. Okay, they have those 4 universes. The sphere of first one is sphere of infinite space, then the sphere of infinite consciousness, sphere of nothingness, and sphere of none. Okay, here's the problem with that. Remember we talk about Dhyana, right? Ding. That's Ge-wu. That's confusing. Ge-wu means to concentrate, focus, calm our mind. Yeah, that's true. Right? But the problem with that, people who follow that, usually it's the people who go to that level, it's people who just do meditation. Understand? Just do meditation. And did not receive the Tao, obviously, because this is still a realm, okay? And the problem with that is, yes, when they die, if they die, they'll reach that level. But that level, it becomes like almost approaches Wan Kong. You know what Wan Kong means? Vacuum. Get it? Because they have no wisdom. They don't display wisdom. What is display wisdom? Remember we talk about this oneness, right? The Buddha nature or the absolute awareness or your spirit or whatever, your mind, Buddha, Bodhi mind, okay? But then there's a function part, right? Which is wisdom. Ji, Zao, right? Ji and Zao. Ji is our Buddha nature. You can say that. You could call that Buddha nature, okay? The Zao literally means to illuminate, illumination, Okay, it should be present tense because it's constantly that. Okay, so in Buddhism you're gonna hear this term called 记照 a lot, 记照同时. Okay, 记照 is always two together because that's the oneness. Get it? Okay, that's the oneness, right? Our Buddha nature is that. It's that oneness. So unfortunately, if you meditate too much, right? If you just focus, that's what I'm saying. Focus on that to the high level, to that spirit, to that sphere of neither cognition and that's like no thought. That's literally no thought, by the way. Okay, that's no thought. So you don't even have a mind, consciousness. Okay, which is true, but you don't have the wisdom part. Get it? So that's called. You know what Buddha called that? I didn't write it down here, but it's called dead wood samadhi. Yeah, they reach samadhi, sammei, right? You get it? Sammei. Samadhi means very, very high level of concentration, of meditative state. Okay, that's what it means. Okay, they reach that level. That's true. That's true. That no argument about that. But they don't display its function. Get it? Of our Buddha nature. Remember, that's like ji and zao, right? They reach very high level of the ji part, the stillness part. Okay, the ji means stillness. Literally, that's what it means. Okay, that's samadhi. Okay, high level, very high level. But they don't display it. They don't manifest anything. So it's like almost empty. It's like emptiness. Get it? So Buddha called them dead wood. What good is it? It's useless. Then dead wood. Dead wood. Dead wood samadhi. Understand? Just that term. Okay, you got understand? I didn't put it in there, but because it sounds derogatory. But it's called dead wood. It's useless. That's why Buddha called those people. And we'll talk about the higher level, that Pratyeka Buddha. Okay, he called them burnt seeds. You get it? It's a seed. Yeah. They got rid of all causality. That's true. So because they don't have to reincarnate, right? Because they escape samsara. Even this level, they still have to have samsara. It's just that they live very long time. Okay, in here. They live to like, I don't know, 84,000 Mahakalpas, which is some ridiculously long time. Okay, that's the highest level. Is it the highest level? Yeah. Okay, but they still have to reincarnate after that time. Okay, so Buddha said that is not the best, not the highest path. That's not Anuttara Samsara because it's really not oneness. They really are halfness. Because they just have the samadhi part. They don't have the wisdom part. Get it? They don't have the wisdom part. Understand? They don't display. There's no illumination. It's all dark. There's no moon, no reflection of the light of their true nature, of the Buddha nature. That's why we have to have ji and zao simultaneously. And it has to be balanced. Just like this. This has to be balanced. Benevolence and righteousness. You can't have too much of this and no that. And you can't have too much of this and little that. It has to be balanced. Benevolence and righteousness have to be balanced. Wisdom and propriety has to be balanced. Understand? You can't have only wisdom and no propriety. Oh, I'm really wise. Oh, I don't care. You can run around naked. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Oh, you can spit on the ground. Doesn't matter. You can whatever. That's wrong, right? That's not really wisdom, right? That's. Yeah. Okay, right? So you need balance. Understand? See, everything's like balance. That's everything. If you can balance everything, that's one. That's called the oneness. That's called ji and zao. Get it? So ji zao literally means, the literal translation, if you look at the Buddhist dictionary, it means stillness, and illumination, or illuminating. Okay? It's the one. It's that one. Okay? It's the one. Okay? Alright? That's what our Buddha nature. So we have to express it. Right? Yeah, you could be very learned. Very understand Buddha nature, whatever, reach very high level of samadhi, even have supernatural powers. But if we don't display that, manifest that as wisdom or propriety or whatever, it's useless. It's called dead tree samadhi. Get it? Okay, so very important. Okay, all right. So that's part of my conclusion. But anyway, all right. So let's go to the state of arhats. There are 4 levels. Okay. Now we're talking about the 4 holy states because they don't have to reincarnate. Holy state. Well, technically, yeah. The first 2 levels of arhatships, which is Sotapanna and Sakadagama, which is stream enter and once returner, they do have to reincarnate. A certain time, but their reincarnation will be very good in the sense that because they have a lot of merits, right? So they're not going to probably end up, towards the path of humans and pretas, etc., or animals. Get it? Okay. So they have, it's called 7 rebirths. Okay. So if you look at page 5, right, we talk about arhats. Okay. Actually, arhats, right, and then all of us could become sotapannas very easily. All of us, you know that? Okay. But they haven't received the third treasure yet. Okay. But no, yeah, they haven't. Yeah, because if you look at the, where's my spreadsheet here? Oops. Okay. They remember. Look at page 5 near the top. It says point D, right, under 1, stroked up, understroke. Eliminate all 88 diluted views. Here are the 88 diluted views here. It's right here. Okay, 88. It has to do with the 3 realms: the realm of desire, realm of form, and it has to do with the extreme views. Okay, and the extreme views is in the appendix here in the handout in the Word document. Okay, it's on page 7. Okay, bottom page 7. It's the 5. It's called the 10 wrong views. Okay, so if we still have ego, extreme views, right, rigid views, stubborn views, deviant views. If we have anger, rage, that's the 3 poisons, pride and doubt. That's the 5 五钝四 okay, the 五力四跟五钝四，了解吗？五钝跟五坚 okay, that's the 5 view. Okay, together they're called the 10 wrong views. Okay, and they have to do with the 4 noble truths. Okay, they have basically they are wrong views about the 4 noble truths. Okay, if you look at the table here, and in the 3 realms, if you combine them, add them all, it becomes 88. All right, okay, get it? So to become a first level arhat, if you can get rid of all those 88 views, you become a first level arhat, even though you did not receive the Tao. Understand? Get it? Okay, so all right, okay, so that's what it means. Okay, so I don't want to go into too much detail because we don't want to become arhats. We all want to become Buddhas instead, right? So focus on what we really the grand prize, the real prize. Okay, then same thing with the Sakura Agamen. That's number 2 on page 5. Okay, now to become a Sakura Agamen, which is the once returner, because they have to reincarnate one more time in the human realm before they become an arhat. Okay. They have to eliminate the 81 delusions. Here's the 81 delusions. Okay, it's called the 9 degree. I don't want to go into details, but it's here. It's in the separate tab in the spreadsheet. Okay, so you guys can look it up. Okay, it's the 9 degrees of cognitive. It has to do with the grounds. Okay, the 9 grounds. That's why 9 times 9 is 81. Okay, so basically to be a Sakura Agamen, okay, we have to you have to get rid of the first 6 degrees. Okay. All right, then you become a Sakura Agamen, okay? And then the next one, the non-returner, the Anagamen, if you get rid of the remaining last 3 degrees, the first ground, which is the realm of desire, you will become that, okay? Now, but they still have certain attachments. You know that? They still have, that's why they're not Buddhas. You get it? They still have certain attachments, okay? So, but they have one rebirth in that pure abode. Remember we talked about in the realm of form, okay? Form, okay? Then the Arhat is one after rebirth in the realm of form. If they do well, they become an arhat. Now, there's not guaranteed. Just because you go to the realm of form doesn't mean that you automatically going to be, after you pass away in that realm, go to an arhat. No, it depends on how well you cultivate too. Okay, so they still have to cultivate in those realms. Okay, all right. Okay, to get rid of those attachments, still attachments. Okay, misunderstanding. Okay, so that's what they did. They got rid of next 5. Fetters means chains, right? Chains, okay? Attachment to materials, all that stuff, okay? So that's the 72 degrees of remaining 8 grounds, okay? All right, so no more rebirth, okay? But that's okay, all right. So then we talk about the next level, okay? It's called the state of Pratyeka Buddhas, okay? So that's on the spreadsheet here. That's the higher level. That's the higher level here. That's the next, that's the, here, right here. Okay, that's right here. That's Pratyeka. It's called Lone Buddha. You're very lonely. Remember I talked about dead with samadhi, what Buddha called it, or burnt seeds? Burnt. Let me ask you, if you have a burnt seed, if you plant it in the earth, do you think it's going to sprout? No. Okay, so it's useless. Basically, it's dead in. So Buddha calls arhatship and Pratyeka Buddha, these two levels, even though they are enlightened, that is true. They escape samsara. That is true. But they did not express, manifest their wisdom. Get it? They're the Zao part, the illumination part. They're dead in. Get it? They're dead end. So if even if you cultivate it to become a arhat or pratyeka Buddha, if you want to become a Buddha, you still have to reincarnate in the real world. You know that? You know that? Okay? They can't go directly from there because that's a dead end. Get it? Okay? So, okay? All right? So we got to be careful. Okay? Now let's talk about bodhisattvas. Okay? And also, I said a little detail that the pratyeka Buddhas, how they came into being, how they came apart, because they were humans too, okay? But during that time, there were no Buddhas to teach the Dharma, understand? But on their own, they were able, because they mainly meditated on the 12, Nidanas, right? Did I say that? Yes, I did, yeah. The 12 chains, links of dependent relationship, they were able to attain Buddhahood, or pratyeka Buddha. Okay, all right. So that's why. But it's very lonely. Okay, because they don't go about teaching others. They don't. They just do it themselves. You can say selfish. Like arhats, they would go into the mountains and meditate. So they reach high levels of samadhi. That's true. But what good is it? It's dead end, right? Okay. So that's why Buddha called them dead with samadhi and burnt seeds or dead end, right? Okay. So all right. It's huge because nobody hears about them. Let me ask you: throughout history, has anyone come across sutras written by arhats and pratyeka Buddhas? None. Because why? They don't care about expressing. Yeah. I mean that's kind of selfish, but they don't care about showing others the way. Understand? So they don't teach. So that's why I try to say that the illumination, the Zao part, right? The Zao, you have to express, oh yeah, you're enlightened, but then do something, show it, help others become it too, right? Get it? Pratyeka Buddhas, arhats don't do that. Get it? So that's quite dead end. That's why Buddha, has very harsh criticism. They call them dead wood samadhis or burnt out seeds, which is kind of, right? Not good, right? It's not a compliment, right? Okay, so anyway, understand? So that's why there are no sutras written by arhats. Come on, look it up. You can search Google it. Go Google it. There are none. Why? Because they're dead end. Get it? Okay? All right, so now let's talk about bodhisattvas. Ooh, that's what we want to be, okay? That's the one. Okay, so you know what bodhisattvas are, right? I mean, the definition is already written down there. Yeah, then there's a thing called mahasattvas. That's very important. Mahasattvas means, literally translated, means great being or great warrior. Okay, that's in Sanskrit. The 8 well-known, right? 8 well-known bodhisattvas: Manjusri, Avalokitesvara, Puxian, right? Guanyin, Rukmila, all of them are Mahasattva. That's the 7th level. By the way, there's a reason why there's 52 here. Ooh. And then there's 1 here. So that if you add these numbers, it's 53. You know that? That's part of the... oh, sorry. Okay. Okay. I guess we don't want to be enlightened. No, I'm sorry.